Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 6.2 Notes. Today we're going to be talking about classifying and evaluating polynomials. You guys ready to get started? All right, let's get going. So, important vocabulary. Remember that a term is numbers or variables separated by addition or subtraction. We were talking a lot about that yesterday. Let's see, a polynomial contains one or more terms. And now this is something that that's new, the degree of the polynomial. What that is that is the highest exponent in a polynomial. Okay, so it's the highest exponent in a polynomial unless, yeah, dun dun dun, there's more than one variable in a term. So there is more than one variable. Remember, this is the number one, more than one variable in a term. Okay, so then you would add. So then you would add the exponents of the different variables. And I know that makes no sense right now. The different variables. Okay, so what we're saying, if we had something like x cubed, okay, that degree, we're just going to say that degree would be 3. But then if we had x squared y to the 4th, we would actually add those two numbers and we would say that our degree is 6. Okay, and don't worry, we're going to go through some examples like that. Okay, so terms, numbers or variables separated by addition or subtraction. Polynomial contains one or more terms, and then the degree, that's when we look for the highest exponent or we have to add them together. Okay, so let's go through some specific names. Now, if we have one term, we said yesterday that that's called a monomial. If it's got two terms, we call it a binomial. 3 terms is a trinomial. Okay, and once we get past 4, we just say that 4 is a polynomial. Okay, for all of you guys taking reading. Okay, we've got your ma, bi, tri, and poly root words. Nice little reminder from there. Okay. All right, so what we have to do is classify and identify the degree. So when we're looking at this first one, how many terms do we have? Okay, that's what I want to look at first. So I've got 1, 2, 3 terms. Okay, so if I have 3 terms, that's going to make this called a trinomial. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want. But now it's a trinomial with what degree? So I look for the highest degree. And so my degree is 2. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to look at. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so we're looking at terms. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got 4 terms. What is that called? It's called a, yeah, polynomial. And now what's my degree? Well, this is one where we have to add it. Okay, so I've got 2 plus 3, that would be 5. This is 1 plus 7, that's 8. This is 1 and 1, so that's a 2. What's the highest one? Yeah, it's 8. So it's a polynomial with the degree of 8. Okay, what about the next one? How many terms is that? Yeah, 2 terms, so it's a binomial, and then what's my degree? Yeah, degree equals 5. And our last one, D, how many terms does that have? 1 term, so it's a monomial. And our degree is, remember, yeah, there's something there. Our degree is 1. All right, so count the terms. Remember, they're separated by addition or subtraction. And then we need to look at the exponents. All right, next part, evaluate for the given variable. So if they're telling me that x equals 3, what's our answer? So we're going to start with the original, and then we're going to start plugging in. Okay, so I'd have to plug in -3. Now, just remember order of operations. Okay, we have to do exponents first. So -3 squared is -3 times -3, which is 9. Now that's the only thing I'm doing. Okay, after exponents, we do multiplication or division, so I can multiply. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times -3 is -9 plus 5. And now we have 18 minus 9 plus 5. What's 18 minus 9? 9, and 9 plus 5 is 14. So our final answer would be 14. Do you guys want to pause and see if you can do 6 on your own? I think you can do it. Whoop, go back. Okay. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So remember, you're just plugging in wherever you see y. Okay? So why don't you guys try this on your own, and good luck. Okay, so there you can see my work. The first thing I took care of, -2 cubed, which is -2 times -2 times -2, that's -8. Okay, and then the next thing that I took care of, right here, the -3/2 times -2, I did all of that work right here to get +3. And then -48 plus 3 minus 2 gives us -43. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you guys see where I made the mistake? Yeah, that should have been a +2. Yes, yell at me, Mr. Grice. +2. That's why it's -43. All right, let's look at the next one. So, evaluate for the given variable. F of x equals 3/4 x plus 5. Find f of -8. Don't freak out. We have done this stuff before, okay? So what they're saying is, hey, I'm curious what happens when I plug in. Sorry about that. No, it was nothing cool like a soft or hard lockdown. Okay, so they're saying what happens if I plug in -8 for x, okay? So as we go through this, we would say that f of -8 equals 3/4. That's where I'm going to plug in, and we're going to find out what we get. Okay, so in the parentheses is where the -8 goes. So we've got to do a little side work here. I've got -8/1 times 3/4. Okay, or the other way around. I multiply straight across, I get -24/4, which gives us -6. So I have -6 plus 5. And what's -6 plus 5? Yeah, -6 plus 5 is -1. So my final answer would be f of -8 equals -1. That's how we write our final answer. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter what the variable is or how they're trying to trick you, g of y, they're still saying, hey, it's 4, so anywhere, any place you see a y, go plug in a 4. Okay? So we're saying g of 4 equals 4y squared minus 4 plus 3. And we're just using order of operations to solve. So order of operations say that we do exponents first. 4 squared is, 16 minus 4 plus 3. And then what's 16 minus 4 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So g of 4 equals 15. Okay, this should be review so far for you guys. All right, let's look at 4. So if f of x equals negative 2x plus 1, find the value of x so that f of x equals 7. So it might be like, what is going on here? Let's take a look at our equation. We have f of x equals negative 2x plus 1. So that's going to be the first thing I write. So f of x equals negative 2x plus 1. But then what are they telling me? They're telling me what happens when f of x equals 7. So wherever f of x is, guess what we're going to put there? Yeah, I'm going to put a 7, and I want to know what happens with the rest of this. Okay, so I need to solve this. And how do we solve? If I'm solving for x, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 1 to both sides. 7 minus 1 is 6, and we get 6 equals negative 2x. Okay, and then keep solving. What do we have to do now? Divide by negative 2. And then when we divide by negative 2, 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So we get negative 3 equals x is our final answer. Okay, so all we did was plug in, and then we had to solve. All right, last one. Same thing. All right, they're telling us that g of x equals 2/3 x minus 5, and then to find the value of when g is negative 2, or negative 20. Sorry about that. So the g of x, oh, sorry, let's write it from exactly how we did in the other one. G of x equals 2/3 x minus 5, and they told me that g of x equals negative 20. Okay, let's go ahead and solve. If I'm solving for x, the first thing that we need to do is add 5 to both sides. And negative 20 plus 5 is negative 15. So negative 15 equals 2/3 x. And now how do I get rid of a fraction? I can't divide by 2/3. Okay, we're doing this by hand. We're going to multiply by 3/2. Okay, so just off to the side, I'm doing negative 15/1 times 3/2. We multiply straight across, we get negative 45. 1 times 2 is 2. And then can I reduce that? Nope. So we get negative 45/2 equals x. Remember, it's okay to have a fraction as your final answer. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for Algebra 2, Chapter 6.2 Notes, the classifying and evaluating polynomials. Remember, if you need help or extra assistance, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.